Hello, my friend. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can easily take that 8 or 16 bar loop that you've been working on, or that core idea, that hook that you've been working on, and quickly turn it into a fully arranged song in just 5 minutes. Learning how to quickly take your idea and flesh it out into a fully arranged song is important because you'll be able to finish your songs a lot faster and with a lot less guesswork. When you have your song fully arranged, you'll be able to see the whole song in context and get a better idea of which areas really need your focused time and attention on improving the song. And straight up, you'll feel a lot more accomplished because you're actually finishing a song a lot more, as opposed to just having a collection of loops or ideas that aren't finished, which can be a little bit of a pain in the bum when you're an artist and can kind of make you feel a little deflated. So it's nice to have fully arranged, finished songs. And thankfully, there are only really 3 steps if you want to be able to arrange a song very quickly in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. The first is to find a song that you would like to use as a reference, a song that you like, something that you want your song to sound similar to. Second is you're going to want to map out the key structure points of that reference track. And then 3, you're just going to develop your actual song structure using that reference track and those key song points that you've identified. It's super simple to do. It's a lot easier than it sounds. So we're going to jump into it. Before we do, I have a completely free gift for you. It is a 5-step song finishing checklist. So if you want to look at the top 5 steps that you're going to want to complete anytime you're finishing songs, it's going to help you finish songs a lot quicker, get you to that finished state so you have more songs that you can release on Spotify and send to labels. The more music that you're able to finish, the more that you can actually push your music career forward. So I want to make this download available to you for free. There is, of course, a link to it in the description below. And actually, this step that we're covering is step 3, which is the arrangement phase. So we're going to dive into step 3 right now. Let's jump right into this. All right, so last night I was working on this track, and I just kind of show you what the main loop sounded like. So originally, I was really working on this kind of section right here before I actually arranged this whole track here. So it's about a 4-minute and 20-second nice arrangement, but originally it was really just this loop here. So I'll play that for you to start so you can see where we were before we got to the arrangement point. Pretty simple. Kind of cool little groove with some like stabs, very deep housey. There was also a vocal track here, but I can't play it for copyright reasons, so we'll just ignore that. But this is originally what I built out last night. It was this loop, and originally there was nothing else to the left or right of it. And usually what I like to do, instead of just ending on a loop and moving on, is at least quickly getting an arrangement done, and so that way you can kind of hear what the full song is going to sound like in context, and you've built a song as opposed to just a loop. And that way when you come back to it, you can you've made more progress and you can build on the track a lot more and get an idea what the final product is going to sound like. So the way to quickly arrange, or at least the way that I quickly arranged, was did this in about maybe 10 minutes tops it took to arrange. And what I did was I created this arrangement track, and I've saved this as a template too, so I can always fall back on it. And it's pretty simple. It's like 16 bars of an intro, 16 bars of an outro, and where the kind of the drops come in and the breaks come in. And basically I just copied another song that I like quite a bit, and also just did a bit of research into the style of music I make and kind of found this to be kind of a pattern that can emerge quite often. And so I built out this using just blank MIDI files. So this is a MIDI track, and the idea is you can just like grab a stretch of time and say insert MIDI clips, close that out, and you can change the color if you like to, and then by right clicking and choosing one of the colors, and also by right clicking you can rename it, so you can say like intro. That way you can kind of figure out the bars of songs by using a reference track and then building out your own little arrangement template. If we remove everything else in this track, so that we start with kind of how it was before I made all the changes. Now what you can do is just kind of copy and paste over all of your elements, and it makes it a lot easier to arrange the track. So if we start with, say, let's grab all the drums, and we'll do the intro, drum intro, and the drum outro, which is very common in this style of music. So you can just get started with that, super simple. Let's add the kick in the second half of the intro. And then we'll just kind of copy this over. The kick for the break. Sorry, the kick for the break here usually breaks. We'll often not have the kick. And then we can go back in over here, grab the drums. So the drums are filling up all the breaks. Or the drums are filling up all the sections. Again, we'll have the drums in here, but remove the kick for the break. You can do that again over here for this break over here. With the kick. We have the build down. We'll grab one of these that doesn't have the ride in it. Boom. And then have the kick in the first half of the outro, but not in the second half of the outro. Then let's do the bass. We'll grab the bass track here. The sub comes in here, punch it in here. We'll probably have it playing for most of this. Maybe we'll have it not play during the break, that first break. We could have it playing for the rest. And then we have some musical elements here. Probably started off like this. Have this one coming out the second half. And then just to make it super simple, I'm gonna add this in for everything else. And it's kind of filling up the whole arrangement here, using all the building blocks made during the first phase of ideating and expanding upon the initial core idea here. So then it makes it super easy to kind of copy and paste everything for the arrangement. So this was barely even like, I was almost just using it as a visual cue to create this. Definitely you want to use your ears and like actually make this a lot more interesting and have maybe things come in with filters and volume swells and stuff like that and adjust it. But even by just quickly visually doing that, we did that in maybe 5 minutes, we have something of a track. So let's go ahead and listen to it now. Probably not going to be amazing, but it is going to be something. That's kind of the gist of it right there. As you can see, kind of even by using this visual template, you can kind of really get started really quickly with an arrangement. And that kind of works. It's not the best arrangement of all time, but at least it's right there, done really quickly, and you can get a much better idea of what the finished song's going to sound like. And then just as going through and listening, just start adding some kind of like micro transition. So things like cutting out the kicks and stuff like that. Just kind of adds a little bit of extra interest in the arrangement. It's something you can do as you kind of listen through it a couple times, but just even by quickly copying a template like that, we already have a finished track almost in terms of the arrangement, and a big starting point that we can use to actually develop a lot further and make this a lot more interesting down the line.
And just like that, that's how you can easily start to take your 8-bar, 16-bar loops, your core ideas, your hooks, whatever it is, that small idea that you've been working on, and flesh it out into a fully arranged song in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. The more that you start to build up a bunch of reference tracks and kind of identifying the key points of those songs, the more you can simply rely on those previously developed reference arrangements that you have to just be banging out tracks a lot faster than ever before. And like I mentioned way at the beginning of this video, this is important because you need to be finishing songs as an artist. The more songs that you put out, the more opportunities you have for your music to catch on and grow and maybe have some kind of awesome hit that's going to take your career to the next level. If you aren't constantly developing your sound, if you aren't constantly putting out new releases, it's going to be hard for you to find new fans, make new connections, get records signed, whatever you're going to want to do. It all starts with music, and you really need to be able to finish music as quickly as possible. And that's why it's important to develop your songs, get it to that arrangement stage as quickly as possible. And that's also why I want to make sure that you pick up the 5-step song finishing checklist that I have available. It's completely free for you to download. The link's in the description. And this video was covering step 3, which is the arrangement stage. There are 4 other steps that you're going to want to cover to make sure that you're finishing music as quickly as possible so you can drop more music, reach your goals in your music career, and just feel a lot more satisfied as an artist. So with that said, link in the description below to that free 5-step song finishing checklist. If you found this video useful, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Otherwise, good luck on your next release, and I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.